Good morning, everybody. I pray you all are having a fantastic week. I know it's just Monday. This is our second day of the week, but this is going to help set the tone to how we, start our year. It's the third day of January, and I want you guys to be successful this year. And in order to be successful as a trader this year, you want to know or understand or recap how your year before went. For example, for my 2021, I am ending the year profitable. In December, I did become a funded trader through FTMO. And now what I'm realizing is I don't want to trade a lot of currency pairs this year. I actually want to do opposite. I want to trade less currency pairs this year. Last year, on a consistent basis, I struggled between trading a lot of pairs and then only trading a few pairs and then trading a lot of pairs. And that was not good. But it was a really good experience though. But what I noticed is that a lot of my profits that I made, which were good profits, sometimes were eaten up by losses from other currency pairs. And I was trading at least analyzing 25 to 27 currency pairs at a time on top of crypto and on top of stocks in the stock market as far as the investor side goes. And that's a lot of time. That's very time consuming. And I became very overwhelmed. So I don't want to go into that this year. So that's why I'm only starting off with two currency pairs, AUDUSD and pound JPY, because I've tracked those for the last 4 to 5 years. I understand how they move. I love their movement and I want to continue to follow their journey. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get into the analysis on AUDUSD. So what I'm noticing that's going on with AUDUSD, and if you follow me on TradingView, then you know I was looking for a buy over here starting the beginning of the week, which was yesterday. But overnight, price made a lower low. So my last lower high or higher low was here at 0.72435. We had a higher high here at 0.72775. And now price has passed that higher low, creating a lower low. And as you guys can see, price is now just decreasing. So from this point, I am now looking to be the seller per the 4-hour time frame, because this is the time frame the lower low was created on. Now, as you guys can see, price is still decreasing. It is still dropping. I have no clue where price is going to stop. And my job as a trader is not to just say exactly what point it could stop at, because no one can understand and know that. We can only speculate, right? But I do know where I want to enter the trade if price can pull back. And so this is now where my analysis will begin for my entry point. So because my last higher high was at 0.72775 and I am a supply and demand trader, what this tells me is this was the last area where the buyers were able to buy price at the highest price at 0.72775. Now that the sellers have come into the market, this could be telling us, okay, well, we have control of the market at the moment. We don't want to buy price high, but if you pull back, if the buyers come into the market and pull back, this is where we need to understand what price can pull back to. So for me, I'm looking to see if price can potentially pull back to 0.72658. Now, this is just per one time frame with this one zone. I call this my estimation zone where I believe price can pull back to. Depending on how price closes today, there could be another zone I could draw, but I need to see how price is going to close today. However, per this 4-hour time frame, if price can pull back, stay below 0.72775, then I want to become the seller at the price point here around 0.72660s. Now, I don't have a take profit right now because, like I said, I need price to pull back in order to know where I am going to take profit. But at least I know my first entry point, okay? So that's Australian dollar versus United States dollar. Now, what I will say this too. Going into this year, notice how I'm only speaking about the entry point for right now and only having one entry and only being the seller. My job this year is to have less trading decisions. It's either I'm the buyer in an uptrend or I'm a seller in a downtrend. That's what trend continuation. And if there is a possibility to counter trend trade, that has to come from a higher time frame first. and then only when price goes back into a trend continuation stage. Now, if you're a new trader, that may sound confusing. It's easier looked at than to hear it and try to visualize it and not understand that. But I'm going to do my best, because I'm only focused on two pairs, to record a lot more of my analysis as the market is open. Like, no, I can't do any live trades right now, especially on YouTube, because I never know when my entry is going to come, and it takes time to set those things up. But if I can, forecast it before it happens, then this could give you guys a really good opportunity to just focus on the analysis with me using your own eyes. Okay, but this is my entry point from right here, and if anything happens differently, I'll let you guys know. So next, let's look at pound JPY. So pound JPY is almost kind of doing the same thing as the Australian dollar. The only difference is we're still in an uptrend on the 4-hour time frame, the time frame I'm looking at right now on pound JPY. And let me explain here. So you guys can see that the last higher low here is at 155, and then price pushed up to 156. So price has not passed 155, which means this thing is still going up. Yes, I see we have a bearish candle. Yes, I can see that right now the sellers are pushing price down. But overall, when you look at the fluctuations, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, overall, the buyers are still in control until price passes the last higher low at 155.002, which means I am still the buyer. Once again, this is an uptrend, and in the uptrend, we look to buy. Now, if price, and only if price, can pass 155, it's when I would look to be the seller. But other than that, my eyes are still focused on buying. So if sometime today I get bullish momentum per the 4-hour time frame, since we have a steep enough pullback, then I will look to buy back up to 156.015. And if the buyers come into the market, I already have my take profit in front of me because price has pulled back and I can see the pullback. So when it comes to trading, especially when you have a solid proven system, and I do have a solid proven system, this just requires patience. And if anything invalidates the rules to change your bias from buyer to seller or seller to buyer, it's important to change it immediately and not stick with your first thought. Like, as I just explained, I'm still the buyer if price stays above 155, and I see evidence of the buyers coming to the market, which will be potentially by a bullish candlestick, right? The next candlestick on the 4-hour, which will close at 1 o'clock p.m. Not this one, but 1 o'clock p.m. Okay. If I don't get it, I don't have a trade. And if price closes below 155, I am the seller, not immediately, but now it's going to cause me to adjust my structure, which is just my zone, adjust this structure so that I can now scout out where I want to take a sell from. Just like how I did with the Australian dollar, because we do have a visual of a reversal on the 4-hour time frame. And so I pray that makes sense. But this is how this looks, going from a buyer to a seller, seller to a buyer, looking for trade continuation for a buy, or now a sell in a reversal on AUDUSD. Okay. So these are the only two pairs I'm looking at. These are the two setups that I'm seeing for today. I'm not going to force anything. I'm not going to rush anything. I'm just going to take my time. Okay. And I pray you guys take your time this year as well. And if you've been struggling, don't let this be the year of struggle. Get help. Reach out for help. And let me say this, analysis is not help. You need someone who can sit down, teach you a system, teach you a process so you can analyze on your own. Analysis is always the last step after learning, okay? Your analysis has to be taught to you. Analysis is not just about plotting levels and then looking for an entry. It's why you're plotting the levels. It's how you're plotting the levels. It's when you're entering the trade. It's using the time frames, and it's using patience. And that is the most important part, is understanding the steps and the concepts, okay? So I pray you guys have a safe trading week. I pray you have a profitable trading week. And if not, there's always next week. So I will talk to you guys in the next video, which will be uploaded later this week. You guys be blessed.